Hey YouTube, it's Alex. Welcome to another video. Welcome back to my kitchen. So it's Easter morning and I actually woke up feeling a little bit sad because normally I would be with my family on Easter, but of course I'm stuck here at home for the 30th day. I don't know how many days it's actually been. I randomly decided this morning to cheer myself up with some cinnamon rolls, which is something I usually eat on Easter morning. I wish I would have planned a little bit ahead for this because normally cinnamon rolls take some time to make, but you know what? It's me. I never plan ahead. So let's start over here on the stove. I have 1 cup of whole milk in my saucepan. I am gonna heat this up over medium heat until we get to just before simmering. I don't want any like wild bubbles, just a couple of small bubbles around the edge. Alright, so my milk is hot. I'm gonna add this to my large bowl. To the hot milk, I'm adding 1/4 cup of salted butter. I cubed up this butter so that it melts easily into the hot milk. Give this a little stir. To the milk and butter, I'm adding 1/4 cup of white granulated sugar, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So I'm gonna give this another mix to keep allowing the butter to melt into that hot milk. Alright, so of course yeast is pretty hard to come by right now. I didn't have much luck. The best I could find was pizza crust yeast. Now it specifically says pizza crust yeast is not recommended for bread baking. Did it say cinnamon roll baking? No. So we're gonna try it. I literally have no idea if this is gonna work. I didn't even know pizza crust yeast was a thing, but here we are. But hey, it's Easter. Miracles can happen. Jesus can rise. So can my cinnamon rolls. So I'm just gonna pour this yeast right into my milk. I'm trying to film a side angle. And I'm also adding 1 large egg. Get it all nice and mixed. I should also mention that pizza yeast is like an instant yeast, so you don't have to activate it at all. If you have instant yeast, like the normal kind, not the pizza kind, then this should work perfectly. If you have active dry yeast, you're gonna wanna activate that, and you're probably gonna wanna use a different recipe. To this, I'm adding, what am I adding? I don't really know. Flour. So this is 3 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm gonna start adding this gradually into our milk mixture. I wanna add it gradually so we get it nice and mixed and combined fully each time. I might need, dough pun. I might need a little more than 3 cups. The amount of flour you use, it's dependent on your exact measurement, it's dependent on the humidity of your environment, so I can't quite tell you exactly how much you should use, but just try to use like your senses, if that makes sense. I mean, I can smell the yeast, so that's promising. I just have no idea. Maybe these will turn into like pizza cinnamon rolls. Wouldn't be the worst thing. It's still pretty wet, but it's definitely gaining some thickness. Like me in quarantine. A little more flour going in. I think I'm definitely gonna need a little more than this, but we'll see. So the rest of the flour is in. I am gonna keep mixing this until we get kind of like a shaggy dough. It definitely is looking like dough-like. It's still a little bit loose, but I don't wanna get this too dry, so I'm just gonna keep seeing how much the flour hydrates in here. So this is 3 cups of flour. The dough is still pretty sticky, so I'm gonna add a little bit more. Maybe like 1/4 cup. I'm just gonna start feeling with my hands. I like using my hands just because I can get like a better sense of what we're working with. My hands are telling me that it needs more flour. You also know it's kind of ready when it starts to pull away from the sides of the bowl. Then you'll know it's a dough. All right. So my dough is manageable enough. I am gonna flip this onto the surface of the table and give it a little knead. I'm sorry that I have such a small amount of counter space here. I do my best for you guys. Sprinkle some flour on the surface and dough goes right on there. So I can feel that this dough is still pretty loose, but it will start to pick up some of that extra flour on the surface as well and come together. But actually, it's feeling pretty nice. It's a nice dough. It's really soft. If you have a mixer, by all means, you can use that. I just like, again, having the ability to touch my dough and determine myself if it feels good, if it needs some more love. Who doesn't need a little more love though, you know? So kneading is a really important step because it's actually developing those strands of gluten in your dough, and that will add some structure to your final bake. This will help give you like really fluffy, nice, big cinnamon rolls. And you'll actually feel the texture of the dough start to change right before your hands. So one way to test if your dough is ready is to poke your finger in it, and it should spring right back. All right, so now I'm gonna grease a clean bowl with some oil. I just put the oil on a paper towel to make it nice and easy and clean. And I'm gonna put our dough baby right in there. As the dough rises, the oil in the bowl will help like the dough kind of glide along it so it doesn't get stuck. So I'm gonna cover my dough with a towel, and I'm gonna let this sit on the counter until it doubles in size. It should take about an hour. Also, did you guys notice my pajamas? I got them on Amazon. Oh my God, guys, I just had a brilliant idea. So I have some ripe bananas. Recently on Tasty, I made a giant 4-hour banana bread cinnamon roll. I don't got that kind of time today, but you know nothing makes me happier than some banana bread. So I figured I'd combine these two recipes and make a banana bread filling for my small batch quick cinnamon rolls. This is gonna be delicious. So first up, I'm gonna mash up these bananas. Ooh, they're very ripe. Just give them a quick mash. The bananas will continue to break down over the stove, so you don't need to do that too much. Moving on over to the stove, over medium heat, I'm adding 6 tablespoons of butter. To this, I'm adding 2/3 cup of packed brown sugar, a ½ teaspoon of salt, and a tablespoon of ground cinnamon. So I'm just gonna give this a stir, and now I'm gonna let it hang out. I just wanna make sure all the sugar granules melt down, so we have a nice syrupy mixture. All right, now I'm gonna add in our mashed bananas, just right in there. This is gonna make a really nice like caramelizey banana filling situation. All right, our filling is done. It looks delicious, it smells incredible. I'm gonna put this in a separate bowl so it can cool. So as our filling is cooling, it should also start to thicken up more, which will help when we roll our cinnamon rolls. All right, it's been about an hour. I'm gonna check on our dough. Ooh, thank you, Jesus. Our dough has risen. I guess the pizza yeast wasn't so bad. So now I'm gonna take our dough and turn it out onto our surface. A little flour underneath so it doesn't stick. All right, now I'm just gonna roll out our dough into about a 12 by 16 inch rectangle. I usually just eyeball here though. Our banana filling is looking real nice. It's thickened right up. So I'm just gonna pour this right on there, get it all over. And now just spread that out in an even layer. Next, I'm gonna add some chopped walnuts. If you don't have chopped walnuts, you can skip this part, but I like the little crunch it gives. And now I'm gonna roll her up. So when you roll your cinnamon roll, just go slow. You want to roll it as tightly as possible because that will give you that really nice swirl in the inside. This dough is a little soft, so this is kind of difficult, but I'm sure they'll be okay. So now I'm gonna use a serrated knife to cut these into rolls. All right, so I've got all my rolls snug in this greased baking dish. I made 10. So I'm gonna cover this with a towel and let it rise again for about an hour, and then we'll be ready to bake. This rising also should help make them look a little better. All right, it's been about an hour. It's finally time to bake these things. Can you tell I'm excited? Let's take a look. Oh, they look so good. That final rise really helped to fill them out and make them look even better. So I'm gonna pop these in the oven at 350 degrees for about 18 to 20 minutes, and then we'll have our rolls. In they go. Good luck in there. Say hello to my little friend. Guys, it's happened. I finally have a hand mixer. I'd like to give a special shout out and a huge thank you to my Aunt Pam, who sent me this new hand mixer because she felt bad for me. So while the rolls are baking, let's make the frosting. I'm gonna make a super simple cream cheese frosting, one of my favorites. So in this bowl, I have a 1.25 cups of powdered sugar. To that, I'm adding 3 tablespoons of softened cream cheese and about 4 tablespoons of softened butter. I'm using salted butter, but you can use unsalted butter. You want to be sure that your cream cheese and butter are nice and soft so that you get a smooth frosting. Wow, it's so nice already to not have to do this by hand. My life is changed. So our frosting is still a little dry and crumbly. So now I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of heavy cream. You could also use milk if that's what you have. And about a half teaspoon of vanilla extract. Oh, that was definitely more than half teaspoon. That's okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I just sprayed this all over. Clearly I'm not used to using a hand mixer because I just sprayed frosting all over my wall. All right, our frosting looks great, nice and smooth. It is a little bit thick, but it will melt over the hot cinnamon rolls, so I don't wanna go any thinner than this. Our rolls are done. Let me go get them from the oven. Woo! Classic oven foot close. Oh my God. Look at those babies. They smell so good. I wish you guys could smell this right now. All there's left to do is frost these puppies and we're ready to go. There's really no technique to frosting. Just slapping the frosting on in like dollops. And then as it kind of softens and melts with the heat of the rolls, I'll spread it out. And finally, I'm just gonna add some more chopped walnuts right on top. Wow, we did it! It's an Easter miracle. I wasn't quite sure how it would work out. They look beautiful, and I cannot wait to try one. Thank you, Jesus. All right, time for the best part. Just gonna go for it. Look at that. This is some real shit. Sorry, it's a holy day, I shouldn't swear, but man, is this good. Get in there. Wow, it is so incredibly fluffy. You know, pizza yeast might be the secret to perfect cinnamon rolls. It's the best of both worlds. I guess 3 worlds: cinnamon rolls, banana bread, and pizza. All right, well that's it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll catch you guys later.